Hey friends, previously I talked about shifting your focus to the oil and gas sectors before all the big funds jumped in to inflate the share prices. And since then, most oil and gas companies have seen substantial increase in their share prices. Hope that you managed to make some gains from it. So today, I want to share with you quickly where I'm focusing on next and why, and that will be the travel industry. Yes, there's nothing new. In fact, many people in the investment community already went in to scoop out some travel-related stocks. So, why am I sharing this with you only now? Well, first of all, to be clear, I'm always on the lookout for bargains and undervalued stocks. Any industry shift and associated movement in the market may not be of particular importance per se when picking winning stocks, because it will be company specific. But on the other hand, I will also look out for changes in any industry that may present interesting investing opportunities. And so the travel sector is what I'm looking at now. So why now and not previously? Well, there's two reasons namely. The first reason will be the uncertainty of the extent of how this coronavirus pandemic will have on businesses. This is probably one of those once in a lifetime experiences. We can't predict it and we are not prepared for it for sure. For example, we saw Warren Buffett selling all his positions in airline companies back in 2020. I'm sure he has his reasons for doing so. And I believe, apart from the potential change in consumer behavior post-COVID, is the uncertain length of time that these airlines will burn their cash that prompted the legendary investor to exit his stakes entirely. Not to mention the implication that Berkshire Hathaway, as a substantial shareholder, may need to bail out these airlines for an uncertain amount of time. It is this uncertainty as to how much debt that needs to be taken and how much cash businesses need to burn that holds me from jumping in too early into the travel industry as well. And this leads me to the second reason why I'm starting to look at the sector now. And that will be, there's signs of strong recovery in the travel industry. Vaccination programs around the world have been going on for a while now. In fact, we are starting to recognize that this coronavirus, once deemed as a pandemic, is becoming endemic moving forward, meaning that it will be treated as viruses like common flu, and that life has to go on and resume economic activities to pre-COVID levels. Of course, what's different now compared to the initial outbreak of the disease is that we are now more prepared to live, fight and prevent the spread of the virus more effectively, and that's due to the tracking, isolation and vaccination measures in place. I'm not saying that we should be complacent and go back to living like how we did before COVID immediately. What I'm saying is that we are in a better position today to adapt to the virus. Anyway, with all these measures in place, what we are seeing is the opportunity of the travel industry opening up at a quicker pace than before. Let's take a look at how hotels are doing now to show you what I meant by the travel industry recovering rapidly. As you can observe from the chart, the number of nights that consumers stay in the hotels have been ramping up slowly over the past few months of this year, but at an accelerated pace in recent months, albeit still below pre-COVID levels in 2019. What's more interesting is that the number of nights booked through some of the channels in May 2021 have even surpassed the level in the same month of 2019, indicating an aggressive pent-up demand, and this booking trend should translate to higher stay nights in the coming months. In fact, if we just look at the data in the US, the past 3 months in March, April and May, the number of booked nights for hotels in the US has recovered way above that of the levels in 2020 and even surpassed the levels in 2019, a time before COVID. These are leading indicators of the eventual recovery of the travel industry, and because of this, it should be a good prompt to start looking at investment opportunities in the sector. But of course, on a macro level, countries may experience different rates of recovery due to the different policies and what exact COVID-19 situation each of the nations is facing. And on the other hand, on the micro level, there's more factors to consider depending on which particular subset of the travel sector you are looking at. For instance, one of the real concerns will be the entire change in business travels in the future, as companies are now more geared and adapted to using technology for communication, thereby drastically reducing the need for business travels. So, do assess the different areas before taking up positions in companies of the travel-related industry. And of course, as always, make sure the business you are eyeing for have the financial strength to handle the risk that it may potentially take longer than expected for recovery to take place, say due to the new waves of mutant virus strains. In short, Invest with a margin of safety while you start hunting for investment opportunities in the travel-related sectors. Let me know your thoughts on this and share with us in the comments below. And remember to subscribe to our channel so that you can be informed once our next investing tip is out. In the meantime, check out the recommended videos here to continue learning so that you can make better investment decisions. Keep learning and happy investing, and we will see you soon.